So time to choose someone else to suffer. Thankfully, as I mentioned, Carmen's is definitely the darkest. I guess Ruby's could be considered dark too, especially if you let your imagination run wild. But, I mean, Carmen's, I think, is more explicitly darker. Anyways, with that being said, let's go a little bit lighter. We'll play as Rose. Now, Rose is the one I'm probably most uncertain about what her deal is, but we'll try to figure it out. And we'll figure her out a little bit by reading her blurb. Rose is mature for her age, but there's a certain air of innocence about her that is charming and disconcerting at the same time. Barely a teenager, Rose is 11. She's discovering the world around her with fresh eyes. And all is beautiful. The wind in the trees, the birds in the air, the flowers along the path. Rose has taken it in voraciously. So much so that she will defend even nature's smallest creatures against anyone who might wish them harm. But who will protect sweet Rose herself when she is lured off the path? With a promise of unearthly bliss, of light and abundance where no sun will ever shine? You're just a little girl, Rose. Just a fragile little girl. Well, that got real foreboding fast at the end there. But here we are Rose. Fun fact about Rose is that we want to go mess with that bird. But then we got that bird so quickly. That was not the fun fact. Do we have the text? Black dress, bitter voice. All you need is a little care, and you'll feel better. And let me just look at that again. Looks like we get a bathroom out of that. Alright, not the fun fact. But it is important that we get that crow before we go off the path, because I don't think the crows land off the path. And you can see crow was one of our main items that we needed. So, if we didn't pick it up now, we could get a hint from the flowers, but the hint does not help. And we would basically have to hope that the girl in white would lead us off back to the path. Which, you know, hoping is not always the best option. Because that girl in white, sometimes she kind of has a mind of her own and she just wants to smack you in the face or smell you or play patty cake. Anyways, fun fact. Rose here is based a little bit on Lane from the hit anime Serial Experiment Lane. You can kind of see it with the braids. They're like one side braid. That's about it, really. Just the side braid, but still a fun fact. And I'll have one more inspiration fun fact for you later. Actually, I guess I have another one too that I never really mentioned. But the harmony of nature, the melody of a flower, from the darkness in the light, nothing is bad. Thought that said had for a minute. See if we can pick a flower too. Or just sit down. Or, yeah, okay. I feel as light as air. I may fly away any minute now. Hey, get up. Get up, you lazy bum. Pick a gosh darn flower. Now, I could be mistaken. I think if we did not play as Ruby, that we would still see the head on the scarecrow itself, but I mean, we started with Ruby, obviously. Where's the text? Grandmother will love these flowers. Speaking of grandmother, how you feel about that bread, girl? I must take this to grandmother right away. You say that, but there was a pretty straight path to grandma's house and you blew it. Wine? I hope grandmother doesn't drink too much. I mean, I don't know. I saw how old she was. She probably needs a little bit of that juice to feel good. Oh. Let's not go that way. You can kind of see it looked a little different than what we're used to. So, not really what I want at the moment. Oh, flowers though. I see flowers. Anyways, the other fun fact, which was going to be a bit more broad, is that the character designs were basically kind of like the proportions on the characters were based off of dolls. I don't know, like, the specifics of the dolls, but again, if you look at the, like, development stuff, you can kind of see a little bit about that. I think part of that, too, was that the, characters were originally going to be outsourced, I think, for, like, kind of like an artistic thing of, like, various interpretations from different artists, but I believe they just didn't they weren't feeling it. I think it was like just a vision in their head of exactly what they wanted, and they just never really got it from the like outsourcing part of it. But again, I've read this stuff like a while ago, so I'm probably getting some of the information wrong, which again, I recommend reading about it because it's interesting. And that's why I'm kind of trying to talk about it, because I think it's neat, even if I don't really remember the details. Do we have anything on bullets? You got anything to say about a bullet? One less bullet means one less death. Alright, so, very wholesome girl this Rose is. I was gonna say goal. Or ghoul. Again, probably nothing from the car. I also wonder, because the car was running when we showed up with Ruby. I wonder if it would have remained running with other characters, or specifically it is Ruby's item, so it makes sense that it... Oh, it actually looks like it is kind of moving. Also, I didn't mention it before, mainly because we saw Ruby. If we find actually find a spot with, like, Rose or Carmen, maybe. But, we kind of... It's a little bit unclear with Ruby since she was the first character we played as. But the image of the girls that we've already encountered the wolf with kind of don't quite look the same. They kind of look let's say limp and eyes closed, whatever that might mean. Which way am I going? I think I'm heading backwards again. It's almost like it's easy to get lost in the woods. Is that the girl? What is she doing? Where's she going? Well, actually, I think this is the graveyard. Good graveyard. And a good chance to show what I was talking about. The cycle of life and death knows no beginning and no end. Okay, very casual. So, one thing... I'm not going to really go into it, but due to circumstances, had to kind of run through and play the game again a little bit at some point. I messed with Robin in praying, and as you can see, if we sit and pray for a long time, the flowers kind of grow up a lot. And you can kind of see I didn't do it with all of them, but I just kind of let it go at a certain amount of height. So a little fun thing there. I don't think you really get anything out of it, but just wanted to point that out, because I did say, like, oh, did the flowers grow? Maybe it's my imagination. Anyways, as you can see, Robin's kind of, like, lulled head. Just sleeping, though. That's all it is. Let's grab the skull. Or bury it. I thought I was going to steal it. That skull belongs to me. The dead go in the dirt while their souls fly to the sky. I guess if the skull wasn't there, I would have been able to pray at this with Robin. I did try with Robin before, and it, I think, kind of focused a little too much on the skull itself. Looks awfully foggy that way. Or maybe even misty. Again, I wish that we could just pick up the items that we already have. I think it would be nicer than just doing this. The little thing fell out of the nest. Was it trying to fly? If I had wings, I'd probably try that too. I mean, yeah, if I had wings, I also would want to fly. So the skull was our other item. We're only missing one more. I guess we probably, actually, looks like you can see that the other item is actually the well. Guess we'll go that way then. I was gonna just kind of wander in a direction, but can I kind of veer? Yeah, cycle of life and death. This is awfully close to that. You can kind of see a boat over there. There's something over there too. Awfully close to that lake. Oh, there's a graffiti wall. I wonder what it's gonna look like. Rose doesn't really strike me as a character that would want to graffiti a wall. I'm gonna put that out there. Honestly, with how much we've done, I can only think of like one of the other characters that would probably do this. That I think we've seen their silhouette on it before. Dang. Just double check to make sure I can't talk about it. Yeah. Go pick up a flower though. We're definitely not gonna get 144, but I still like collecting them. I think I saw the girl in white over there. I still don't know how this really works because of the way it, like you can see there's a long line of them on the right, but then we're like missing a bunch on the left. I wonder if there's a certain amount that each girl can actually pick up. I mean, 144 is divisible by 6, so it could make sense if it's like segmented by how many you picked up with a character. Although the process seems a little frustrating. Like you really don't have any way to look for it. So you just kind of have to keep wandering. Pick it up. I'm gonna be a little bit rude here. Maybe it's just the way the hair's done, but doesn't Rose's head look a little flat? Like, I feel like it's missing, like, a little bit of the back of the skull. Probably just the hair, though. Maybe just my imagination. Maybe it's just doll proportions. I don't know. I didn't play with dolls. I played with Jurassic Park toys. Because I was a real cool kid. Let's maybe actually look for that well. It's right there. Let's look for the well and stop gloating about my Jurassic Park toys. What's in there? Like barracks, or is that a greenhouse? I think that's a greenhouse. I thought they were like bunk beds for a minute. Deep inside, everybody is a dream. Okay. Well, that sure is poetic. It looks like... Isn't there a... Do we only have the graveyard available? For some reason I thought maybe we would have, more spots. Maybe the fact that we should have unlocked like 3. But I guess I don't know what's really available for... I am not following the girl in white. I'm just kind of vibing at the moment. Vibing and ending up by that again. I don't know, I guess, what is available for Rose here. This weird shape I made in my handy dandy map. I'm not seeing anything of interest currently. Oh, there's the spider web though. Maybe I want to go... Oh, there's a gramophone too. See, I'm finding things. And I'm still not sure if this is actually a gramophone or if it's some other type of phone. Like for calls. Spinning around and around and around. Dizzy high up in the air. Very lofty thing she says. And by lofty, I mean like air related. Flying, air. Can't spiderweb. I need to be that other person. There's like a bunch of flowers over here. Grab them all. There they are. I knew there were a bunch. I just kind of lost track of them. The trees were hiding them. Probably lost track of a bunch more. Oh, there's so many of them. I need to collect them all. How many, I'm gonna show them not great at doing math on the spot. How many would be associated with each girl if we divide the flowers up? Would it be, thinking about it. Maybe I should just use a calculator. Because I'm starting to, like, fumble with my thinking. Mainly just because I don't want to sound dumb. I'll pull out a calculator, just out of curiosity sake. I already asked the question. I don't want it to sound dumb. I need, like, a pen and paper, because I can't just do the math in my head. I blame calculators. It was 24. That was definitely what I was going to say, but I just wasn't sure about myself. So 24 total. It could totally make sense if you could only pick up 24 for each person. Which, like, what we are... We should be at, like, 80 something at this point. Or, like, if we had collected that many with each person. I'm gonna try to find the girl again. Wait! Is that a flower? God, I must be going insane. Also, the girl's behind me now. What's that in front of me? Is that the scarecrow? Sure is. Let's veer off into a different direction. That way? That way. I mean, 24 for each character doesn't seem that bad, and if you think of it that way, but it's still a lot to work with. Again, there's not really much to lead you in a direction. You're just kind of hoping you find it. Hey, what's that? Bonus item? That girl in white's just running around still. Oh, we can finally play with the piano. And there's a glowy item in the corner. It's really funny to have these items that don't quite correlate. Like we just unlocked a spiderweb. I'm a little bird making sweet forest music, floating on the waves of sound. Again, floating, flying, an airy personality. I don't think we can really do much else, so let's look at stuff. Better take this knife before anyone gets hurt. Ain't that just kind? Listen, there's so many flowers around. I haven't really kept track, but we need to collect 24 of them. Ooh, bathtub. Wonder if I can go hang out there. It was a special item. But sometimes special items can just be used as a sitting area. Like the swing set in the playground. That was special for Robin, and as you can see, we can still interact with this. To be in the mist. To be mist. To e-mist. To miss is to be. What does e-mist mean? What are you talking about? Ah, flower. Feather? The poor thing. What evil powers tormented this creature? Again, I don't really know what we were looking at with that. It looked like it was kind of in a bag, so it is kind of messed up. So I really don't like the idea of an animal being beat to death, but also, like, I don't know, the bag itself hiding the fact. I could be mistaken, it could have just been a meat flesh, which I guess would have been more like hunting it and taking its insides, maybe. It could have been... Actually, I think that's the knife spot right there. It could be some kind of hunting thing that I'm not aware of, like all of the excess food stuff maybe was put to the side. Yeah, that's where the knife was. I think I see the pillow where the syringe is. I'm sure Rose has a normal thing to say about the syringe. Check that out. Somebody is sick. Where are they now? Perhaps they need their medicine. So, like, very, naive, I would say. Not, at the very least, she didn't think it was candy. But not very, aware of why that syringe might be out here, what purpose it might have. Although, in relation to, like, Robin, it makes sense. Rose is the second youngest of the characters, so... If you go kind of in the idea of... Did we ever run into this before here? This little, like, witch's circle thing? I don't think there's really much to it. I think you can sit here. I think you can. Maybe if I sit still long enough. Maybe I'm thinking of a different spot. You can kind of see a little bit of an X on this tree too, but let's not talk about that again. It looks like an X. That's a really weird X though. Let's not talk about that again. I don't really know what the deal is with over here though. Like, it looks like it burned. Was there like a fire here? Maybe woods experts could tell me, like, a fire burst happened and then just trees grow in a ring of, like, a circle. Like the mushrooms that do, like, that fairy ring thing. I only know about that because of the... Oh, that's the great... I was so confused about what I was looking at right now. Delicious in Dungeon was what I was going to say. I love referencing anime. It's my favorite hobby to do. I thought this was like a weird creature for a minute, so it kind of spooked me. I don't know where the girl in white's really heading. Well, this way, I guess. She might be heading towards a place I haven't been to, or just a generic location. Speaking of generic location, let's read about, like, the boot, since we'll never find that. Hope the person who lost this shoe does not have blisters on his foot now. Why you say it like that? I would hate to have blisters on my foot too, I'm gonna be honest. And I guess I just would hate blisters on anything, but definitely not my foot. What am I even saying at this point? Oh, the girl in white! Good, she's distracting me from my terrible jokes. Oh, flower. Also a distraction. And another one over there too, but let's see what the girl in white's hanging out over here for. Oh, a lot of flowers. Are you just by the piano again? I wonder if you're kind of stuck since it was like the only thing like left for me. How do I react to you? Almost seems a little worried. I'm not going back with you though. You can't make me. No, stop it. I don't want to. I'm walking away. There's flowers to be found. I lost where they are. Oh no, there were like 2 of them. I'll never get the 100% achievement for this game now. Never ever. God, the flowers make me think. There was a game, I don't remember exactly what it was called. But like I was trying to get all the trophies for it, and there was just like one like collectible I could never find, and I used a guide and everything. It's not that I couldn't find it, just like I don't know, I just was never able to get it, and it was really frustrating. I can imagine if I actually tried to do this, it would be it would make me mad. Oh, that's nice to lift that back up. Anything to say about that? Can I interact with it anymore? It's neat to have the interactions or the like the aftermath almost of what the other girls might have done based on the order you're in. Not that there's a lot of objects that really let you do that. I would imagine if the wall wasn't busted, you could probably see what Ruby graffitied in every playthrough from the one that she started to graffiti at onward. Which again kind of makes it a shame that that's the way it is. But at least the rest of the game works. I think at this point I probably should get ready to move on. I'll take this to give to those in need. Yeah, I don't think that's enough money to feed the poor. I'm gonna be honest. It's probably also made out of plastic, but you know. Now I'm just being a negative Nancy. Hey, what's over there? Is that the scarecrow again? I sure just circle around the same spot easily. Like, even if I think I'm going straight forward, I never am. Teddy bear? People love animals so much that they make fake ones just to cuddle. Yeah, do you want to talk about the fact that it has 2 heads? I don't really know what that means. What's the metaphor behind that? I mean, I'm sure I could broadly look up what, like, 2 heads mean as a metaphor. Could just be as simple as, like, two-faced, but that seems weird. I don't really know how that would fit in with anything. Of 2 minds, of 2 bodies. It kind of seemed like it was a fully, like, stitched together 2 bears, and less so than just 2 heads. Split in half. 2 sides of the same person. Think about it. Might be something. I love spitballing. A balloon. If this balloon did not have a string, it would simply float away. I'll be honest, that balloon was kind of weird. It was floating, but just kind of in the same spot. I think it was maybe a magic balloon. It might have been like a balloon made by an evil clown. I mean, if you think about the fact that we had to interact with it with Robin. Robin was like in a raincoat, perfect for the It clown. It all kind of comes back to it, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Get it? Huh? Whew, I'm really firing on all cylinders this time around. Piano tower? I'm too heavy or too weak. Will I ever get up? It's a ladder. Like, I don't know. How much effort do you need to put to get up a ladder? No one was able to climb it. It is kind of interesting, that the interaction from Ruby and from Rose here was, like, almost the opposite. Like, I'm too little or too weak. Like, I'm just a little baby. I'm a child. Can't climb the tower made for children. And then Ruby's like, I must be getting old because I just can't climb it. Could have also been the leg brace, but I would at least understand that more. Like, that has to be cumbersome to try to climb a ladder with a leg brace. I'd imagine, realistically, if your leg's injured, you probably don't want to put the pressure on that leg. Again, firing on all cylinders here. Let's talk about whether or not you should climb a ladder with a leg brace. Were we able? Yeah, we weren't able to interact with that one. So I guess that's it. Firing on all cylinders this time around. And like I said, I don't think there's anything for us with those. I would like to find another place to sit, honestly. You would think I would have found, like, the couch. And, you know, with the teddy bear in the tower, you would think the playground would be around. But, clearly I like to run around in circles. I mean, I think we're where we need to be. But I could go that way a little bit. One more veer off the path. Oh, television. We haven't seen that for a bit. I decided to turn it off instead of... I wonder if it was left on because I sat down. I think I was Ruby, right? I sat down in front of it and turned it on. Wonder if you could say, like, kind of almost get something out of the characters by the fact that they would sit in front of the TV. Or the fact that they turn it off because that's, like, the good thing to do. Again, it's kind of crazy that that was, like, right next to this tub. But to be honest, the television is pretty easy to miss, I feel like. At least the bathtub is, like, white. We're back at the well. And that's the wall. I could sit at the bathtub. I'll do that. Just to see if we get anything else from sitting. Since I did already basically read everything. And I mean, I think it might be Rose's time to go. One more thought. Make it a different thought. To be in the mist, to be missed. Okay, to be missed, to miss is to be. That time it didn't do the weird thing though, right? What was it? It like had a T. Try one more time. So I wonder what, like, programming wise caused the like letter to kind of funk out a smidge bit. Okay, you gotta stop. I think this was also the same thing we got from the bathtub before, but I do think you could choose different ones. One more time. It's like gambling. Gambling with the bathtub. Everything is one. My molecules float in all directions. The trees, the clouds, we are all one. See, it was worth it. She had some weird poetics to say again. So, like, together, one, she's really into nature. The girl in white's over here. What are you doing? Is this by the piano again? I feel like you're stuck. What am I looking at? The sky? I guess that would make sense. I don't want to come with you. I wonder if she's more inclined to bring you back to the path because of the fact that you need to interact with the crows. I mean, you don't need to, but, you know, the crows are kind of important. That'd be a nice foresight for them, but let's actually, let's go check out that boat. How far away am I from it? I think that's it over there. Also, like, what is... I guess Rose is wearing shoes. They almost look like, leggings. Like, red leggings. But you can kind of see there is a, like, sole to them. So I don't know if it's supposed to be, like, boots. Now, I don't actually remember if this can even show up with other characters. This is not the right place. In case you were wondering, yeah, the field definitely can show up with other characters. I'm gonna go that way. I was close. I like how the trees actually give way to this location, though. That's neat. Very marshy. Oh. Kind of see what our wolf was, but it's strange. Hello, clouds. Welcome on Earth. I'm like trapped on that puddle. So, if you can imagine, just based on... Ooh, thunder. Based on what you're seeing right now, this is kind of what I meant by, like... Some of these might be a bit more metaphorical, where it's kind of hard to tell what might be the most literal aspect of it. Like, the problem is, like, Carmen's and Ruby's were clearly very real. That you could probably just... Ooh, it's raining right here, too. You could probably just straight up say that there wasn't really a metaphor to it. It's just what happened, happened. But then, obviously, the werewolf and this thing floating in the lake? I have no idea where this boat is, also, so... I know it was closer to the graveyard, so I think we're heading in the right direction. There it is, the boat. And this is kind of partially why I'm like, I'm not really so sure about Rose's thing, but we'll kind of talk about it. I'm not going to have much to say, but beyond the, like, random spitballing. But we'll try our bestest. Get on that boat. There's no paddles. Okay, I guess it's just a magic boat. Can I get off? Can I decide against this? I feel like we're already locked in. There it is, whatever it is. I mean, this guy's just kind of having fun rotating around. It's awfully fleshy looking. For, like, a mist being. Oh, it's spinning at us. Yo, we getting some, like, Peter Pan action here. Yeah, so tell me what you think happened. Because I can't honestly tell you. I know some theories, and I don't know. What we know from Rose is that she's kind-hearted. She loves nature. She loves animals. How do we feel? Just looks sad. Dejected. And now we're like actively on this like little bridge. I accidentally spun around and that's just like making it a little awkward to get back to moving forward. I think one read on this that we'll maybe see a little bit more on is that she went out onto the lake when it was storming, and if you aren't aware, boating on a lake while a thunderstorm's happening probably isn't the best idea. But I also think that's kind of a little too close to what Robin's thing was, of just kind of something dangerous happening. So, like, I don't know. I know, like, with the skull, and I guess with some of the flying imagery, some people kind of view it as Rose being religious, which I could kind of see, but I also feel like isn't really shown too much with that. We'll see what her house looks like. We'll see what that kind of tells us. Like, took a minute there, I was still... So the fan's on the ground here. I'm just gonna get myself chopped up. Upside down. It is storming still. And the beer bottles, which, again, I don't know what that being open or closed means. Ruby and Carmen obviously would make sense why that would be open, but... Don't know where Rose... What Rose might get from that. Of the bathroom. Endless corridors. Or stalls. I guess the fact that it's stalls means it's like a public bathroom. Although, why would the bath be there too? Birdcage. Endless doors. Also looks like it's flooded. Like we're in bloody water. Oh, it's actually flooding. And yeah, it looks like this is a greenhouse. I mean, that kind of makes sense. She liked nature. Getting a little groggy with it, too. Now, we saw this room with Ruby before. With the crow itself on the table like that. And I just fade it into whiteness there. And our bed is like a twister. Here comes a twister. Now let's try to get a glimpse of these images. Misty. Flying. I mean, it could also be like swimming. But then I guess that would come back to the drowning aspect. But like I said, this just kind of comes off very similar to how Robin's story was. So I'm not really sure on the aspects of it. In the most literal sense, the Misty Lake. It does just seem like it's coming close to death. And I'd imagine that that probably takes away from some of Rose's, like, naivety or, like, her more positive outlook on life. And I almost would feel like that would... Like... It might be the kind of thing of, like, the world itself seemed simple until, like, the storm came, and that's, like, the chaos of the world that makes things scarier. I guess, arguably, nature is beautiful, but then a storm can really mess you up, which is a part of nature. So maybe the thing that she enjoyed was something that she kind of feared at that point. But then again, Robin was like, oh, I love wolves. Wolves are sick. So again, it just kind of seems a little too close. I'm sure there's some more nuance to it that I'm just not seeing. But like, you know, like I said, this one's kind of the one that I'm so unsure of. But we're almost done. Now we're away from being halfway done. We're now 2/3 of the way done. Funny how fractions work.